Welcome again to IsoSports. We are back. This is the Super Bowl edition of IsoSports. My guy Eugene Carey in the building. It's the first guest on IsoSports.
It's really unfortunate that the most excitement that gets caused about the Bears is the offseason, is the draft.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's what we get excited.
You know what's crazy? That's what happens when you're a
swear to
trash
God.
franchise. When you have a franchise and a front office
Yeah.
and a owner. Do you think that the Chiefs are creepy? Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, who is the GOAT? I want you to give us a quick WrestleMania preview.
It's really, really heating up. Okay, it is really great to be a wrestling fan.
Welcome again to IsoSports. We are back. This is the Super Bowl edition of IsoSports. So I have with me today my guy Eugene Carey in the building. It's the first guest on IsoSports. So let's get into it.
Let's go. Hey, I appreciate this, Double A. You know,
Appreciate you.
man, there's been many times we sat on my couch, sat on your couch, literally with the, Triple B, and me and you go off on a tangent. So
Absolutely.
I'm really excited that you finally were able to, take what you were talking about and make it live.
Super Bowl 58. We had the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Chiefs with a chance to go back to back. And obviously that's what they did.
Man,
The greatness of Patrick Mahomes and that
absolutely.
defense. Obviously you watched the game. What were your takeaways from the game?
Man, that beautiful black man that Mahomes is, and Caucasianist man as well too, to my Caucasianist brothers.
Yeah.
Like, it's just you don't beat him in the playoffs.
No.
You don't beat him in the, it's just that's just the standard. That's just what it is. And it showed. It showed.
In my
Great game though.
It was an amazing
freaking
game.
People said it was boring. I'm like, that,
it's great
it was a
football.
great freaking game.
Good football game. Obviously, defensive game in the first half, really about defenses stepping up. Even though, like, at the end of the day, the 49ers should have probably been up more like 17-3 going into halftime.
Debo was playing a little injured. Kittle was nowhere to be found, which is
So-
crazy because he was the MVP towards the end of the year for my Final
Exactly.
Fantasy championship.
Yeah.
But that's either here or there. It's just it really is. It's just Mahomes. Those two last runs.
Yeah.
How do you not know that he's gonna be the man? Like,
the issue is that you can't give him the ball last. And these teams constantly think, well, no, I'll just get a lead. And it's like, nah, like, you should probably, like, just keep the ball.
and Kelsey, he's just
Hey, man, and I said it before.
The whole team is a dog. I feel it's different for me than when the Patriots. It's harder for me to hate the Chiefs.
Yeah, no.
The Chiefs dynasty that's starting right now than what was going on with the Patriots, because it was just,
But here's the thing with the
Patriots.
Patriots is, though, and Tom Brady early on, like, that man it wasn't like Patrick Mahomes, who's been the MVP of all 3 Super Bowls. It was defense. He does enough to get them to a place where they can kick the field goal. That's
But
how
I
they were
also
winning.
feel like too was a little bit of the same, and that's why this whole conversation, because Tom Brady really elevated a team of no-name wide receivers.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, the 1 year or the 2 years that he had a wide receiver, Randy Moss,
Right.
they didn't do nothing.
He had Gronk.
Without Tom Brady, would they be Wes
Absolutely.
Welker? Would they be a Julian Edelman? Would they be?
I think maybe not Julian Edelman, but I think
Gronk for sure.
Gronk. Gronk is Gronk, bro.
Gronker.
Like,
Gronk is
you know what I
Gronk.
mean? And then
But it's the same thing with the Chiefs
defense
now. You know what I'm saying? It's like
You have to have
Mahomes
pieces
is
to win.
elevating these people to. Pacheco, little pit bull of a freaking runner.
Absolutely.
The wide receivers finally showing up.
But it was just like at the end of the game when it was just we need to get down the field. Mahomes was like, well, hey, if I got to run for it, I got to run for it. And it's just like he did last year's Super Bowl when to end the game on a bad leg, he's just taking off to get first downs. That's what he does this time. And then obviously to get down the field, throw the touchdown. I mean,
It's fun for him. There's players where and it's crazy because they say it's the hardest thing to be in the NFL to get to that level.
yeah,
To stay at that level.
yeah,
To stay to win a champ and win it again and again. Like, hold on now. Hold on now. This man Mahomes is making it look
easy,
easy.
easy,
Like, I got
and
my son out there fucking training at 7. Like, we gonna get you that NIL. Dude. We gonna because Mahomes is making it like
it's
he's
easy.
just making it look like it. You saw him with his shirt off the other day,
Yeah,
when they were playing him because he got a little dad bod.
yeah.
He should have a dad
It
bod.
don't matter.
He's got 2 kids,
Yeah, it
you
don't
know,
matter. I mean, that's the thing, bro. It's just
and
the
he's out
greatness.
there,
Yeah.
parents.
As a Bears fan, you
Ooh,
guys have the number one pick.
and the season starts. I don't know if you saw because you're a Packer fan,
Yeah.
but they just dropped as soon as the Super Bowl ended. Bears social media all over dropped Bears now on the clock. So this is the one thing that I hate, but I also love because there's always there's been a lot of excitement the last couple years with the Bears.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it hasn't been with their play or not with their play, but with their advancement.
Right.
Right, as like the franchise that they
It's
should freaking
promise.
be as an
Yeah.
original Sixer or
Right.
original however many teams there were. But it's really unfortunate that the most excitement that gets caused about the Bears is the fucking offseason, is the
Yeah.
draft.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
it's like
the
that's what we get
here's
excited
you know
about.
what's really
And then we're
crazy?
watching the dude who we should have had drafted
You know what's crazy? That's what happens
winning his third. I
a
swear to
trash
God.
franchise. When you have a shit franchise and a shit
Yeah,
front office
yeah.
and a shit owner.
You see the front office, the Hunt, the Lamar, was it Lamar Hunt? I think is his name.
Yeah.
Like definitely doesn't look like a football player. Doesn't look like he should have it, but he spoke so eloquently. You could tell the passion he had. He talked about his parents who instilled that passion for football and for winning and being successful. Because obviously he's successful outside of football to be able to own a team, right?
Right.
So it's like, what the fuck are the McCaskies? Excuse my language. What are they doing?
Yeah. No, they're
You know what I mean?
they sell enough tickets, they make enough money.
Off of
So
off-season excitement.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like when you have a shit franchise, you can draft whoever you want. Unless you draft in Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes, it's not gonna
Which I
change.
mean, there's a couple
Caleb
quarterbacks
Williams.
that are there, right? The Drake May, which I really feel like we may need to stay away from. Little wordplay. Because North Carolina, we had issues with a North Carolina quarterback before, Trubisky. Okay, when we took that. So I honestly feel like it needs to be either
So
Jalen Daniels
so
or it needs to be
you're
whatever.
you're trying to trade Justin
No,
Fields.
I am a fielder for life.
You're a fielder. Why?
Because it's just I mean,
Why does
he is
can I
Michael Vick mixed with I feel like he is every great quarterback mixed into one.
Okay, so
And
can I ask you a question?
yeah,
Why hasn't he learned to not hold the ball and take bad sacks? How long does it take you
it's the
to
coaching, dude. It's the coaching.
it's the coach
It
that
is
has to tell you.
absolutely the
So the
coaching.
coach has to tell you throw
Look
the
at the
ball
coaching
away.
that these teams that
Like the coach has to tell, hey quarterback, there's nothing there. Throw the ball away. That's what I have to tell you that. How many times
I
do I have to
honest
you don't
I
think nobody
honestly
told him that?
feel like it's more of less like maybe they're saying it, but maybe they're overstating it to the point where Justin is saying like I'm understanding, right? But also too, like
So
as a
does
quarterback
that not
coach, you
on
gotta
him?
let the quarterback cook. Like
Right.
as a coach, there's only so much that you can
And
be able to do, right? Now, if you've played the game and you played that specific position,
mhm.
then yeah, the word is going to be taken a little bit more, what have you. But like I mean, you gotta let
So
Justin
another
fucking
question.
cook, man. Just
I
like
got a
Jordan
question.
Love,
Right. I
right?
got another question.
They let Jordan Love's first year last year,
Yeah.
right? Or whenever,
This was his first year.
right?
Yeah.
For first full year,
Yeah.
right? They were letting his ass cook, right? And what was this dude
No,
cooking?
they were letting him
Filet
cook. But
mignon
here's what happened. They were
at some
first
like
running the
little
ball,
no name restaurant. You see
but
all those receivers, no name restaurants. You were the Green Bay Packers, other than their running back and
right,
and their usual great offensive line
right.
and what have you, but their quarterback, okay, and the wide receiver, which are like the 75 cents, right, to $1, right? When you're trying to make a whole dollar, right? Like, they let Love cook, but you got a great coach.
You know what
You
Love
got
did
I
though?
I
Also,
like
I
LaFleur.
love LaFleur,
I
but
like
also
LaFleur. I think he's just the
what I will
dog.
say is Jordan Love didn't start out the season cooking.
Yeah.
He looked terrible. He looked bad. And I believe that he
Right.
would. I was like, hey, give him some time. He needs to get used to the offense, but he didn't look good to start. But you know what he stopped doing? Oh, you know what this mistake that I keep making? Let me stop making that mistake. And at some point, that's on a player. So if Justin Fields is continually holding the ball, waiting for something to happen, and nothing's opening up, and he won't even, and then when he takes off to run, it's too late. That's a mistake that you continually make. And not only do you continually make that mistake,
Yeah.
it costs you games.
Listen,
You should have won
Green
that game
Bay's
against
wide
Green Bay.
receiver fucking coaches year after year after year, because like I can't name. I mean, I can, but it's like when you think of wide receivers, you don't think of any fucking wide receivers from the Green Bay Packers, right? Not saying that they shouldn't be up there in the
No,
echelons.
they're young and they're still learning.
I'm just saying, like, overall, like,
Right.
legacy wise, like when you think like the best wide receivers in the game, not nail one Green Bay Packer that should
No.
be up there,
Yeah.
okay? Like, is there, right? Because it's like it's not that they're no namers. It's just it's the system.
The system, yeah.
The system, the Packers, no matter how much of a Bears fan I am, the Packers always have a fucking great system in place. And especially with the coaching.
But
And it's
everybody
like,
also does their job. And here's what I'm
right,
saying
right,
to
right,
you.
right, right, right.
At some
The
point,
Bears, it's like that. And
but-
that's why I'm saying
but
the
at some
coaching, the
point,
organization,
the coaching,
man.
but at the same time, right? You look at Justin Fields.
Yeah.
How many coaches has he had? 3? He's been in the league, or 2?
2.
2. He's been in the league, what, 3 years? This is going to be his 4th year.
2 under Eber, and then 1 under Nag.
After 2 years, right?
Yeah.
In the same system.
Yeah.
Now you can say
Nagy
that
just won a freaking championship
as a OC. But
OC,
anyway,
right?
so
did you hear Eric Bieniemy's supposedly coming back?
oh, he's gonna come back for they're gonna go 3P. They're going 3P. But here's you've been in the same system for 2 years. At some point, you should have picked it up. At some point, you should. If you are,
I honestly feel like he has though, right? It's like I feel like he has. Now it's up to those other areas other than the freaking defense,
right?
But
they have a great
pick
running
it
game.
up.
They have a great running game, and they also have DJ
I feel
Moore.
like our running game is garb. I feel like our passing game is absolutely way better than the running game, because half of the running game is Justin Fields, and our quarterback shouldn't be
they have some
an
good running backs.
umpteen% amount
They have a good
of your
running back
offense
room.
running, at least.
They have a good running
We've
back
proven
room,
it.
and also all I'm saying is
Name the starting running back of the Bears.
Khalil Herbert.
Nah, wrong.
He was he
Towards
was
the
not
end.
the starter.
But towards the end,
That's
guess
when
what?
He was cooking. You know how I know he was cooking?
He's putting up. Who was cooking? Old boy was cooking. Old boy with the dreads. Big boy. Who we picked up. God damn it. Foreman. Deontay Foreman.
Deontay Foreman.
He could have been the starting running back.
I had both of them on my fantasy, and I was cooking. I know that's what I'm saying. Their run game was good. All I'm saying is this: at some point, Justin Fields has to be the reason that you win games, and not the reason that you lose games.
A lot of them.
Who did y'all beat? That was actually good. Who did you beat that was good?
I would honestly.
Nobody. I can tell you.
Bears fans don't memorize schedules because it's so in the air about who they can beat and then who they can't beat. They beat a dog of a team, if I'm not mistaken, last year. They beat
you beat the Broncos.
You gonna bring up one game that you can pull up off your name.
You beat the Lions, which you know what? Bravo for
Thank
being
you.
the fucking
The
Lions.
NFC champion. Champs. They're about to be champs.
Guess who also beat the Lions?
Who?
We did. The Vikings did. The Lions was getting the ass whooped for a lot. They just were. They did get hot. Yes, this year they did get on some hot. They did get on a hot streak in the playoffs. But I'm telling you right now, they was getting the ass whooped.
Look that up. But okay.
And watch.
Oh, my bad. But I trust you.
And then I think you might have beat the Raiders. Like those were the teams
we did beat the Raiders.
You were being the
right, and the Raiders beat the who?
Maybe.
Chiefs.
The Packers?
Chiefs.
Oh, they did beat the Chiefs.
That was a big game, and
cool.
that was the ass.
The Packers beat the Chiefs too. What are you talking about? We whooped the Cowboys' ass.
Yeah, you
in the
took him to
playoffs.
task. You took him to task. Yeah, you took him to task. Okay.
So now that we're where the season is over, and this is way too far in advance, but do you think that the Chiefs could three-peat?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Do you think one? I think they'd have to get a piece.
I feel like I feel like people are gonna want to play for them now. Like now,
course.
like you see, like it doesn't matter how much shit was talked, not only about them, but Taylor Swift and the and the woo woo and the Patrick and Can. I mean, they talked about it in their winning speech. You know, on with Berman, Chris Berman, and the dude with the weird freaking finger, Booger McFarlane, right? They literally said it. They said all this year they were talking about how Patrick can't beat the MVP, can't beat the Ravens, can't do this, that, like can't. I mean, damn, people are gonna want to play for them, for the Chiefs now. Like I bet any top dollar, right? And you got some dogs out there. You got Mike Evans out there.
I think
You got a lot of
I
wide
know there's a
receivers out there,
Mike
like
Evans, but there's somebody I think that they should
you
go
got a
after. There you go.
Mooney.
No, I was gonna say Derrick
Oh,
Henry.
Derrick Henry.
That's the move to do.
I honestly feel like that would kind of skew. Well, you might be correct because Detroit did the same thing.
Here's what you do: you split the. You're
Right,
splitting
right. David
between him
Montgomery.
and
You got a
between him
David
and Pacheco.
Montgomery,
And
Jahmyr
what you
Gibbs
can
kind
do
of
now,
situation
what you
going.
can do now is you use Pacheco more in that passing game,
Right.
and you have Derrick be your more of your bell cow.
But did you see the way that Pacheco was working?
He can run the ball. He's
Oh,
great
well,
at it.
trust
But if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
splitting, now they're both fresh.
Right, it's not just
Now they're
him
both
just running up
fresh.
against the wall
Now
like
they're
every time.
so,
Right,
and
right.
especially because
Wait, that's a good
later
point.
on it,
I didn't think about Derrick
and
Henry. That's a
and
good
when you
point.
go later in games,
Yep.
right? You have Pacheco early on, and you have Derrick finish your games when you got that little lead.
Yeah.
So now you can just hold on to the ball forever.
Yeah.
And you can keep your defense nice and fresh, and understand that now play action is just stupid.
Right.
Now you have to put that extra person in the box.
Yeah, no, the Chiefs, like the world's their oyster right now, and especially with just offensive weapons they can pick up. You got a Darnell Mooney, you got a freaking Michael Thomas who doesn't want to play for the Saints anymore.
Yeah.
You got, I
If he has
mean,
anything left.
dog, like, well, I honestly feel like Mike Thomas definitely has got something left. It's just like you ruined your whole trust, and this whole can be a whole segment. You ruin your trust with freaking Derek Carr. Derek Carr is a very like, listen, if you rub me the wrong way, I'm not gonna throw you the fucking ball.
Yeah.
We saw
Derek
that.
Carr is a
We
pussy.
saw that this year with
Yeah.
the Saints, and one person said, "Stop throwing them the ball," and they were literally cluing it on Chris Olave the whole freaking time. Like, I mean, yeah, so whatever. But
Yeah. Saints are Saints, you know that.
but no, the Chiefs, I feel like they can definitely three-peat for sure.
Yeah. No, I
And
think
San
that'd be
Francisco
great.
can honestly.
What more does
I
Brock
would not
Purdy
want to be a
need?
team facing San Francisco next year.
No, they're gonna be on a rampage.
They're gonna be
But
literally
you know
ripping
what? I
people's
think
heads
I
off.
think, and this is my early Super Bowl prediction. I don't think they
Don't
three-peat,
sleep on the Rams either.
but I do think they get back, and I think we have Chiefs and Packers. You heard it here first. Chiefs and Packers. Jordan Love, just like Aaron Rodgers in his second year. Aaron Rodgers as a second year full-time starter
Packer
won the Super Bowl as a road playoff team the whole way through. Got to the Super Bowl, beat the legendary Steelers. So, yeah, I think that Jordan Love could do that same thing.
It's a valuable. It's a valuable.
Viable.
Viable. Thank you. I mean, I'm not saying that it's definitely not a stupid. I mean, it's definitely. You're thinking about it now, like especially a
For
second
defense,
year,
second
under
year,
all those wide receivers,
all those great wide receivers
bro.
we have. Matt LaFleur another year with
Yeah,
the
your line. I
quarterback.
think you got a couple young dudes on your line too, as well. If I'm not
Maybe
mistaken,
a healthy year from Aaron Jones finally, hopefully.
you guys got a really good tight end too, don't you?
Musgrave.
I mean,
It could happen. That's all I'm saying. You looking at it, and you look at the team. I mean, realistically, we could have made it back this time. Who were your winners and who were your losers of the 2023-2024 NFL football season?
I mean, winners were definitely Detroit Lions. Winners were for sure the Chiefs.
Of course.
I mean, losers. I mean, at the Chargers are another winner
Chargers.
too. They were losers for sure. Definitely winners now. Feel like Green Bay Packers were winners too. I feel like they finally answered that question: who's going to be that next quarterback?
Of
As we were
course.
speaking about, another loser who turned winner. Washington. It's hard to say loser. I feel like Patriots are the Steelers, Pittsburgh Steelers, losers.
Okay.
Oof. Arizona Cardinals, same thing. Like there's just not a lot of I just don't like it's very weird over there. They
I
lost a
think
lot
the
of
biggest
games.
loser for me would have to be the Cowboys.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
always a loser.
you're like, and I think another loser, Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson winning another MVP and
Good
not
point.
getting
Yeah,
back to the
Ravens
Super Bowl.
definitely losers for
I think
sure.
they're losers. Watch that.
Well, yeah, Lamar Jackson,
Lamar Jackson specifically.
awesome. Yeah,
He's
because
a
the Ravens are definitely. I just feel like they did everything that they freaking could
no. They shouldn't have
outside.
signed the OBJ, but maybe sign to Mike Evans this year. Why would you? What are you paying for OBJ for?
I feel like Well,
Why are you paying that much for OBJ?
that much? Okay.
I don't. OBJ is good.
Because there were a couple games where OBJ. I mean,
Yes,
right.
but you don't. But you're paying way too much. You're paying him
Right.
like he's a top flight receiver, and he's not.
I feel
He's
like
a
if you
number
put him,
2 or 3 at
I
best.
feel like if you put him
He's
with
not a
I
number
feel like
one.
if you put him with a quarterback that actually throws the ball,
No, it doesn't matter who he's with.
like
He's not gonna be. He's not gonna be a 1 for you. He could be a good 2.
lies because you saw what the hell this could be a whole
Who was
thing
who was he?
with the Rams
And who was the
before
number
he got
1? Who was the number 1?
him. Come on.
Don't do that.
Okay, cop.
Okay, stop it. He was a good number 2. That's
Come
what I'm
on. I
saying.
mean,
Cooper Kupp was having a season of seasons. He won a Triple Crown.
I'm
What are
talking
we
about in
talking
that Super
about?
Bowl.
And in the Super Bowl, they were doubling him. So what was happening? OBJ was
it could
getting
be a
that
whole nother-
one-on-one
okay,
action with the
okay.
third best corner. Come on now. Come on now, stop it. We're not doing that. We're not doing
I
that.
feel like OBJ, if you put him with a freaking, you put him with like Carolina, and let him and oh boy, like him and
Well,
now he's freaking a Kardashian. I think he's got his mind straight, man.
Nah, he doesn't
He's
have
got
his
Kim and
mind
a really
straight if
good
he
son.
has a Kim. Absolutely. So, okay, I do have a question. Now that obviously we got all the Super Bowl talk out of the
Bang.
way, Tom Brady,
Huh.
Patrick Mahomes,
No.
who is the GOAT?
I mean Brady. But if Mahomes wins one more, man, it's game over, man.
All right, can I indulge? I just want
I'm gonna sit back
to
and
listen
listen.
for a second, right? There was a guy by the name of Michael Jordan, right? 1994, when he retired the first time, there was an article that said Michael Jordan, the GOAT, greatest of all time.
Yeah.
People believed that MJ was the greatest of all time. Like, you watched him, and all he needed was the championships to really, like, solidify the fact that that's the greatest that anybody had ever seen.
It's true.
And all I'm saying is, if you watch the game of football and you watch Patrick Mahomes play the quarterback position, and you see the times when he's down 10, down 24-0, those times when everything looks like, all right, we should just count the Chiefs out. And him, nobody else, him delivers, makes it, no matter what it is, on a bad leg, running for first downs. In last year's Super Bowl, being the first team in 20 years to go back-to-back, and not only being a 3-time Super Bowl champ, those are the championships we needed to see to make sure that we knew what we were seeing was real. He's been the Super Bowl MVP in all of them.
Tom Brady's done that. He's been there, done that. Right? Everything that Patrick Mahomes is doing, Tom Brady's done it now. Yes, Mahomes has done it younger and done it in a shorter amount of time. Right? That's what the whole. That's why I think the whole conversation.
6 years, 6 AFC think about what I just said.
Right.
He's been
two
a
MVPs,
starter,
two MVPs,
two
like
MVPs,
regular season. Yeah,
three. And here's the thing: what I'm saying to you, right? We watched young Tom Brady, and young Tom Brady was not the guy that was he wasn't putting the team on his back. Young Tom Brady was leaning on it, relying on a great defense. Now this year, yes, the Chiefs defense was really good, but still offensively they looked bad a lot of the times, and it was literally Mahomes' magic winning them games. And think about what they did in this playoff run, right?
Yeah.
Miami Dolphins, high scoring team.
Are we really going to count that game?
Ravens. What do you mean? Are we going to count that game? What did they play?
Negative something degrees, and you're playing a team that literally.
Wait, can I ask a question? Did Miami not have the option? If I'm not mistaken, they had the option to have a game at their house, right? They did. What did they have to do? Beat the Bills at home, right?
Yeah.
All they had to do was win a game at home against the Bills, right?
I mean, but during a very hot Bills team, though, that was literally.
Were they at home? And what was on the line? The ability to say, "Hey, you got to come play at our house." When they knew they weren't a good road team, right? So you have a home game to solidify the fact that you have a home game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So the only person that should be mad at themselves for having to go to Kansas City in that negative degree weather is the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Because they show who they were, frauds. Like we knew
Who would have thought it was going to be that freaking cold? Like that, and that's probably what they were thinking. But yeah, but to your point, to
the victor of the spoils.
Right. To your point.
So what I'm saying is that you're looking at a situation where it is the reason they're winning is because of Mahomes. That is the reason. And not only that, can Tom Brady do the things with the football that Patrick Mahomes can do with
absolutely.
the football?
Well, no, but we saw he literally took.
Great. We saw he's great. We know he's great.
He literally left one team, went to the Buccaneers. Mm-hmm. He won his second year with the Bucs. Am I correct in saying that?
His first year.
Was it his first year with the Bucs?
First year with the Bucs.
Damn. I mean,
that's great. But guess what?
Different team, different organization, different whole, having to get used to the receiver.
I used to say this, right? Right? Aaron Rodgers, right? If you really just watch Aaron Rodgers play the quarterback, if you watch Aaron Rodgers play the quarterback position, Aaron Rodgers played the quarterback position better than anyone who ever lived, in my opinion. When I was talking about
that I've seen
running like that I had ever seen with my two eyes.
I mean, other than Patrick Mahomes now, and I don't, and it's like
this is what I'm saying. Aaron Rodgers was that for me. Now I watch Patrick Mahomes, and there's no doubt. Because to me, he's better than Aaron Rodgers because of one reason. Aaron sometimes would struggle in those last couple games of the season, in those last playoff games. Sometimes he couldn't deliver that. But Mahomes has the greatness to deliver it. If it's scampering for 10, 20 yards, if it's running with the ball, juking, waiting, moving until he finds the right.
But who do you learn that from?
Aaron Rodgers. So he perfected it. So what I'm saying is, when I see that sort of talent on the football field, and then you have the winning and the stats as well to back it up, in my head, there can be. That's why I'm saying it's like Michael Jordan.
Right.
Because we knew Bill Russell came through in the Game 7s. That's what Bill Russell did. He had 11 chips. He was him. That was the GOAT before MJ. But we saw MJ. We were like, oh, that's different.
Yeah.
Like, even people who had watched Bill Russell was like, nah, Michael Jordan's different. The way he moves is different.
Yeah, old heads were like, MJ,
And that's what I see with Patrick Mahomes. It's still the clutchness. It's still the winning.
Those dudes that were like, Magic's the greatest ever.
But
they're like,
you
no,
see that
MJ, even Magic says, like, MJ is the greatest, ever. So, I mean.
It's undeniable.
Hey, listen, I 99% agree with everything that you said. It's just that 1% where it's just like, I mean, I feel like it goes Aaron, Patrick, Tom.
Okay.
Right. And the only reason I'm doing that placement is because I feel like Patrick has now overtaken.
Oh, he's overtaken
Aaron.
Yes.
He's overtaken
Except for
Aaron,
Tom, to me.
like just in regards to numbers and
Of
just
course.
like reverence and just like what he's actually done to like grow his market, grow the game, right? But also I feel like the reason I still keep him under Tom is just because I don't feel like Patrick's complete in regards to like this blueprint of not only solidifying a legacy, right, for the Chiefs, but also solidifying the legacy of like being the greatest. He's not satisfied. I don't think he even wants to be called the greatest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think he's so I honestly feel like it's one more literally would just would just put like that official stamp, right? Because no matter what we feel, Tom Brady, I mean, what this dude was fucking doing, like
it's crazy. I want you to give us a quick WrestleMania preview.
It's really, really heating up. Okay, it is really great to be a wrestling fan right now.
Right.
That's all I gotta say. Whether it's AEW, whether it's TNA, and obviously WWE, right? That's that's the staple. But man, just the storylines and just the discombobulation, and the whole reality of is it kayfabe? Is this the storyline? Like what's going on? So from what it looks like, it was confirmed yesterday that Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins will be tag teaming against the freaking tribal family, The Rock, and his freaking cousin, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Obviously, Paul Heyman in the corner.
Of course.
Word is, but it hasn't been solidified. We'll see after tonight's Raw. But word is that they're all basically doing double duty. Other than The Rock, of course. But Roman and Cody will face each other night 2. And then Seth's story's in the air so far. I think it's going to be a Drew McIntyre. Probably Drew. But I'm really excited about it. As we spoke about, the Elimination Chamber is going to really shape the women's division. Bayley versus Io Sky. Obviously, I feel like Bayley's gonna, she deserves.
They're gonna give her.
She's gonna walk away with it.
Absolutely.
I definitely don't think that it's gonna be the whole old Bayley where it's the pop up, win thingies. But I definitely think it's gonna be a mixture of the damage control with the hug Bayley. Very excited about it. Other champion is Mommy, of course.
Of course, Mommy.
Yeah. Very excited about that. We know whatever match she's having. Well, I don't think it's going to be a squash match, but I think it's her and Nia Jax, if I'm not mistaken, in Elimination Chamber in Australia. Obviously, the whole show was built around Rhea Ripley, so she's not going to lose, of course. But that's why I'm excited about Elimination Chamber, because it's going to help shape those other women matches, right? It's going to help shape those other men's matches as well. You still got a Damian Priest out there who hasn't cashed in his Money in the Bank. You still got LA Knight, out there, trying to figure out what we're doing.
You heard it here first. Definitely tune in.
It's Elimination Chamber. It's going to set the scene.
Chamber, and then WrestleMania right after that. Obviously, it was a great Super Bowl. It was a great weekend. Now we're looking forward to obviously WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber, and then the NBA playoffs will be soon after that. So we'll have on Mr. Carey again to talk NBA. This has been IsoSports, and thank you for watching. Deuces.